Hi and welcome to my guide for the Scourge of the Past Insurrection Prime encounter. In this video I'll be discussing our team setup, the boss mechanics including white mechanics, and the best way to attack the DPS phase. So let's get started, firstly by covering the aspects that are brought forward from the other two encounters. These include, from the first phase, the Berserkers, as you can see here, carrying their batteries, and also the map, which we'll cover a bit later in the video. Brought forward from the second encounter will be the Drake tanks, spawning them using the batteries, and also the phase Radiant mechanic, which we'll discuss during the boss DPS phase. For our team setup and during the non-DPS phases, we split up into one Guardian, a pair of Guardians, and 3 Guardians we'll call the Roamers. I shall explain all of their roles shortly, but firstly I'll discuss the map. As you can see, as you start the encounter, the map spawns in the bottom here. The key points of the map are point 1, 2 and 3 to summon the Drakes where the batteries will be slammed, the triangle showing the Berserker carrying the 2 batteries with the sphere over it, the Guardian at the back shooting the boss's weak spots on his back, the 2 Guardians in spawn, killing dregs and servitors, keeping the map clear, and also then the 3 roamers out taking down the Berserker and slamming the batteries. You'll now notice the weak spots on the boss start to appear. These weak spots are what cause the white mechanic. If you don't take these weak spots out, the shield will stay up on the boss and you won't be able to continue the fight. He has 2 weak spots on his knees, 1 on his right shoulder, 1 under his left armpit, and 2 on his back. Sometimes it's not possible to take all these out straight away, and some Guardians move around to try and get the better angle on the weak spot, but it's important to take these out in this early phase. Now you'll see me ignoring the revive to check out the map to call out the battery numbers. There you can see a 1 and a 2, as our 2 roaming Guardians will take those batteries and slam them in their respective Drake summon point. You will notice that as they slam these into different points, it does still spawn a Drake in any of the 3 areas. As 4 batteries are needed, the first 2 Guardians will now start attacking the weak points, and also I will rotate out to find the next Berserker. I take a look at the map here, see that it's in the far left corner, and head out with the other roamer. We'll then take down the Berserker, carry the batteries to the spawn points, and then spawn the Drake tanks. While we're taking out our Berserker here, it's probably a good time to talk about the phases that the boss goes through. He has a couple of phases that he can do for attack animations. One is the aerial bombardment he did in the second phase, with the red lasers marking targets on the ground, and he also can do a direct cannon shot which puts an AoE area effect on the ground, a big orange ball. Try and get out of this before it explodes, it will kill you. He can also just continuously fire laser beams at you which hurt. You'll notice here my Warlock is going super speedy. I do have to reiterate I'm not using any kind of macro or scroll wheel. You'll notice I'm playing on a controller. As a Warlock, if you're holding a battery, you can jump, melee, jump, and it will do that quick animation. I use that to get around quicker, and it's much safer than using a Sparrow. You'll also now notice that the Drakes have spawned. Once our Guardian has been revived, he will jump in a Drake, bring it round to the front, ensure the boss is in position. 1 shot to the boss while he has no shields will cause him to enter the boss DPS phase, which is coming up shortly now. You'll notice I'm also getting into position here. We did have 3 Warlocks, which meant we could have 3 Well of Radiance. During this encounter, we marked 3 points on the map. You can see here I've got up on the screen: angular, continuous and parallel, left, right and back. These points are used for during the boss damage phase. In the second here he will put out a wave of light which will give a phase radiance to each of us. What we're doing is getting into the point of the phase radiance that we have. So here I have continuous phase radiance. If you are in pairs with the same radiances, you will do 3 times the damage. So I'm jumping over here, it's changed again, he does that twice. This allows us to align our phase radiance to gain the phase synergy, which gives us that 3 times damage buff. You actually notice my damage numbers go from 63,000 to 190,000 there when my teammate turned up. And that's one damage phase. As you can see, we have done well over 2/3 of damage. We rinse and repeat now, so we take out his weak spots, we pick up the batteries, we spawn the Drake, we take his shield down, and we take him down in the next phase. A thing to note is the adds do spawn throughout the whole encounter. This is the artillery bombardment where I get taken out after bumping heads. But yes, dregs will spawn in this map area here, a servitor will spawn, there will be lots of snipers up on the rooftops as well, and also captains spawn with arc shields all around the map. So there's lots of ads to clear while worrying about what else is going on. But it's a really good fight, I really enjoyed this one. I'll let the video play out so you can see the end of the fight, and I'll jump back in at the end. Enjoy. And there you have it, that is the boss dealt with. His servitor pops out of his little hole here. I just miss it, but some fireworks do come out. There they are, it looks like a rocket in the top right of the screen there. We do head down now to get the loot. You can go down to the chest at the end. I'll leave the video play out so you can see what I get, but one of our teammates did actually get the Anarchy exotic grenade launcher, which is pretty cool. We've run around in a strike with it. We haven't used it in PvP yet, but we'll see how we get on. And I hope you enjoyed this video. If this was useful to you, please drop a like. It does help me out. I do like seeing the feedback as well, so if you have any feedback, things I could do better, things that would make this easier for you to understand, please let me know, and thank you again. Bye bye.